All right, what's up, guys? This is the second episode of Hot Takes Cold Truths. Last episode, we talked about if the Knicks blew their chance at winning the NBA championship. I talked about how the Knicks matched up against other playoff teams, also how they potentially would have matched up against OKC. The Knicks' weaknesses, especially on defense. One of the weaknesses we talked about that the Knicks need to improve on in order to win a championship potentially in the future is their assist percentage. A lot of people accredit their lack of assisting and the lack of passing to Jalen Brunson. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about, is Jalen Brunson a ball hog? So to start off, do I think he is? No. He's in a very good place. We also have to remember this is his third year. Well, really first year leading a team, or one and a half. The Knicks were Randall's team at first, but his third time being in that big role, if you want to say, uh, taking the reins as the top point guard on the team. Because Luca was the main one getting minutes in Mavericks. Then he comes here, first year, second year, now it's third. So, how did Brunson do this year? That's what we kind of have to look in order to call him a ball hog. We have to, or not a ball hog. We have to look at how he did this year, how he did previous years, and how does he rank amongst other people. All right, so this year, 65 games. He had that injury this year, so he was out for a good portion at the end. 475 total assists, 7.3 assists per game, 26 points per game. I'll mention, I'll bring up why I'm mentioning points in this video when we're talking about assists in a second. But yeah, so out of the whole league, there's only 11 people who got more assists in total than Jalen Brunson did. And there's only 9 guards who got more assist totals than Jalen Brunson did. He's 11th in the league in assists per game. So there's only 10 people who got more assists per game than Jalen Brunson. And he's ninth amongst guards. So there's only 8 guards who got more assists per game than Jalen Brunson. All right. So when you call Jalen Brunson a ball hog and you say we got to move on from Jalen Brunson, 9 times out of 10, you talking about we need more ball movement, right? So as you can see, there's 9 other guards. So you want to trade for a guard, most likely, that's going to provide that ball movement. All right. So that means we got to look at now the guards that we could potentially trade him to upgrade, so to speak, our roster. All right. So here we got DeJounte Murray, 7.4 assists per game. Okay, he got 0.1 more assists per game than Jalen Brunson, which is good, right? But he averages 17.5 points per game. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be the best top of the line scorer in the world in order to replace Jalen Brunson, but a drop off of about 9 points per game for basically the same amount of assists is not going to be great. Then you got LaMelo Ball. Now, this one's a tricky one, right? Because LaMelo Ball, he's an excellent passer, excellent court vision. I think a lot of this 7.4 assists per game that he has right now comes mainly from the talent he has on the roster. But he also has a lot of injuries, right? He's not healthy all the time. Sadly, his ankles are just giving out. And he has 25.2 points per game. So, when you take that into account, with Jalen's 26 points per game, see what I'm saying? It's not a really upgrade, so to speak. Then we have, I have to mention it, he's a great point guard. Chris Paul, 8.8 points per game, 7 point assists per game. You know that's a big NO for the Knicks to upgrade their roster. Do I think he'll be an upgrade like if he came off the bench for us? Yes. I feel like he'll help that second unit orchestrate it, which we need. But as far as our starting point guard, Chris Paul, no. Many years too late for that. Now, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because now you have Luka Doncic, right? Because now we're still, this is the last one in the 7 points something range. And this is one I wouldn't mind, right? Luka Magic, all that stuff that they talk about. I mean, would we get him? No, I don't, of course not. But 28 2 28.2 points per game, right? That's an upgrade there. By 2.2 points per game. And 7.7 assists per game. That's an upgrade by 0.3. I feel like Luka with the Knicks would work crazy well. I feel like the issue there would be defensively, but as we know, Brunson is not the best defender either. So that's one that I feel like if you swap him out, yes, you'll get an upgrade there. James Harden. So this is a very tricky one because James Harden has, especially this year, has been on a tear with running the offense. 22 points, 22.8 points per game, 8.7 assists per game. That's good. And he could shoot the three. Would it upgrade? Would it not? I don't know. You'll get more ball movement for sure, but like the drop on points per game. Cade Cunningham. Now, we know Detroit's not giving up Cade Cunningham. He's younger than Brunson, 9.1 assists per game. Beautiful. 26.1 points per game. Beautiful. The only thing is his youngness, his age, inexperience, which I think he's going to gain a lot from the previous playoffs going against the Knicks. So yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Cade Cunningham for Brunson. Cade Cunningham has a lot of developing that he can do. So that 26 points per game with 9.1 assists per game is actually very beautiful of a number to see. Then you have Tyrese Halliburton. No. No, no, no. 18.6 points per game, 9.2 assists per game. Now, while I give Halliburton credit all the time for his assisting, he's not a good enough offensive player to replace Jalen Brunson. I feel like what you gain from the assists, you lose so much from his own production that it's not worth it. It's not. Now, this it hurts to say because you know how we feel in New York about this guy, Trae Young. I feel like Trae Young in New York would be the perfect fit. It would be. You got a 3-point shooter, a guy who can pass, a guy who can get his inside floater and all that stuff. He's gonna get the big man involved. Trae Young is it. He would be the best if you want ball movement, but also keep the production level of it getting their own shots. Trae Young would be the perfect fit for doing a swap, right? So that's that's really like maybe 2 or 3 out of the 8 point guards that's above Brunson that either moves the ball more and that what I would say would be upgrading the Knicks. So in that case, I feel like you should stick with Brunson. Um, then we also had to look at his trajectory, right? What has he been doing before when he first came here to now, right? Is it going from down to up to down? Is he plateauing? We got to find that out to feel this ball hog narrative. So 2 years ago, Jalen Brunson came to the team. He played 68 games at 421 total assists, 6.2 assists per game. Right. He also had 24 points per game when he first came in. So that ranked 24th in the league in assist totals, 21 amongst guards. So it was awful when he first came in here. He was down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, 18th in the league of assists per game, 17th amongst guards. So you can see Brunson wasn't the best there, right? Then last year, 77 games. So he played more games. 519 assists, total assists, 6.7 per game. Yeah, 28.7 points per game. This is when Julius Randle gets injured, so they relying on Brunson more. He's going off, doing his thing, those 30-point games and stuff like that. He was 9th in the league in totals, 6th amongst guards. So as you can see, there was a big jump there going up. 13th in the league per game and 13th amongst guards. So points per game, he still was but total point assists, he was up there. It's also good to note that last year he was 11th in assists per game in the point guard position for the playoffs for 5.6. And this last year he was 3rd assist per game amongst point guards, was 7.5, right? And then this year as well, he was 3rd in assist per game amongst point guards in the playoffs with 7, assists per game. Right. So that's showing you, yeah, in the playoffs, he reached kind of a plateau of 7-ish, right? So far in the playoffs. But you can see he's jumping up in his assists, getting more comfortable with running the offense. Also, because he played more games in year one, I also compared what if he played 77 games each year, right? So 2 years ago, if he had played 77 games, he would have gotten 477 total assists. That's using his assists per game and just adding it with the 9 games he missed to make 77. So 477 in total, which would have made him 15th in the league in totals, 11th amongst guards, had he played, those 9 more games. And then it would have also made him 14th in assists per game in the guard position. So he would have jumped from 18th or 17th amongst guards to 14th. Still, right? This year, if you would have played those 77 games, you would have had 500, potentially 562. With the rate that he was going, he would have potentially had 562 assists for the whole season in those 77 games, right? Which would have made him 8th in the league in totals and 6th amongst guards. He would have been 5th in assists per games within the point guard position. He is not a ball hog. He's just learning the ropes. He's learning how to become that leader and balancing, I score here, I pass here. I also think it comes to coaching as well, because you can see from other teams when they assist and stuff. When Tyrese Halliburton gets them assists, it looks whoop whoop. Trae Young gets those assists. Whoop, whoop. It doesn't look like they're fighting. It doesn't look like they're trying too hard to get the assist. They're just coming naturally. When Brunson, it's a hard fought, but that comes with like people knowing their roles, people running plays, getting to know each other more. This is the first time the team has come together. You can see the big jump from 2 years ago to last year. That's because that was the second year playing with that main core. So I'm expecting a similar leap now. Oh, and it gets better with these assists, by the way, with his ball movement. He was ranked 6th in secondary assists in the league, which means secondary assist means I pass it to you, you pass it to someone else, and you get the assist. So 6th in secondary assists in the league, 5th amongst point guards with 1.2. So 1.2 times per game, you would pass it to someone and they will pass it to someone else and they'll score. He ranked 14th in potential assists in the league and 12th amongst guards with 12.5. So you can see he's getting ball movement. He's passing it and they're shooting, but I think it's more of getting it cleaner. Now, Brunson and James Harden have a similar career path going on. So when he left the Thunder, right, 4.5 assists per game. Oh, right, disgusting. Next 3 years. So Harden leaving the Thunder is kind of like when Brunson's last year. Harden's last year on the Thunder, Brunson's last year on the Mavs, right? Then the next 3 years for Harden on Houston, this Houston team, 5.8 assists, 6.1 assists, 7 assists per game. These are all per game. So far, Brunson is 6.2 assists per game, 6.7 assists per game, 7.3 assists per game. So these numbers are kind of looking the same, right? Harden was in his first couple years getting used to running the offense through himself. And then, when they got Chris Paul or Westbrook, getting used to the team around him, getting used to that main core. After he got used to that main core, this is the following 3 years. This is where Brunson's at now. From this season on, this upcoming season on is where Brunson should be at, where I'm projecting Brunson to be at when he gets used to the players around him. The following 3 years, James Harden went 7.5 assists per game, 11.2 assists per game, 8.8 assists per game. Now that is nasty, but that's because Harden already got used to his team. Now, I'm not saying that Brunson's gonna break out for 11 assists per game. Can he? Yes. I think we have the talent in order for him to do that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think more of like the 8.8, 7.5. Those are more realistic things that I would see Brunson doing. I don't see him just going from like 7.3 and jumping to 11. No, possible, but I don't think so. I think he's just going to become more fluent with his passing if this new coach comes in, runs plays and all that. You're going to see him become more fluent with the passing, get those 7.5, 8.8, maybe even 9. But I don't think he's going to jump into double digits with assists. That's just me personally. But I think he's going to become a better playmaker. So with the coaching, with him learning the ropes of how to lead, with him having a change in roster, I feel like that causes that hesitation to pass. It causes those nasty assists, those not in motion assists. We've seen moments where he did get in motion assists, and that's what I'm talking about. Like when they get that chemistry going and when they get the plays going, you're gonna see more and more and more of that. However, they don't have that chemistry. They don't have those plays. People didn't know their roles apparently, according, to sources that under Tom Thibodeau, people didn't know their roles, yada yada. All those things are causing, that disconnect in chemistry, which causes Brunson not be able to pass it out. Now, I'm gonna name a few people, and these are people that I don't think are ball hogs, and people that I know very well are on assist totals of all time. They're in that list. You got Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Rondo, Tony Parker. Those 5 people I don't see as selfish. As if anything, I see them as ball. They're the ball movement, the playmakers. Now, do I ever see Brunson get into the 9.2 assists per game for a career? No, especially with how he turned out. I can see Brunson being a Steve Nash, Jason Kidd esque a playmaker where at the height of his career he's averaging 8.7, 8.5. Yes. But right now he's in a good place. He's averaging more assists than Tony Parker. Basically the same amount as Rondo. Now I get the pace is different. But if you look at the Knicks paces, like I mentioned in the last video, are awful. I see Brunson, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash esque once he gets used to his team. Once we get a coach that is going to run those plays, keep people's roles, straightforward, so that they can understand what to be doing. And once everybody else gets comfortable in their own roles, gets comfortable with their own game, I can see Brunson being that Jason Kidd, Steve Nash esque playmaker. That's not saying that he's gonna be, hitting the no looks and all that stuff. No, just the ball I can see moving more fluently. And yeah, so I don't think he's a ball hog. I don't think that he's the main reason why the assist percentage was down. It's with the team gelling together because we seen during the season where we were like, "Ooh, we're Cat and Brunson and Mikal Bridges and OG, Josh Hart," where they would just like be mixing and matching and all these things. I just think for that to happen more fluently and more often, they just gotta get to know one another, get to know each other's games and how it blends, how why were they able to make those, cool assists and stuff like that? Then also it comes to making your shots. I feel like once they get comfortable with being in MSG, being in New York, I'm talking about like the Macaws, the Cats, even OG. People forget that this is like OG's, I think, what, second year? So, getting used to the Garden atmosphere, the pressure that comes with it. I think now they got their jitters out. It's gonna be a great season next year. We still need to do something with the pacing. But all right. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video to your friends, your family. And yeah, like I said, comment below how you feel about this topic and how do you feel about what I've been bringing to the table about this topic. All right. Peace.